I know it, which is like a very big victory here. Number two, for those of you who do not know, I have produced over 10,000 events in my lifetime, physically over 2,500. And when I began to learn how to be a master of ceremonies, this was the song I learned how to count music to. So I have literally spoken over the song, non-exaggeration, thousands of times as I raised my certainty in my ability to speak on a microphone. It was to that song. So there's a lot of significant meaning and love around Sky Full of Stars. So thank you, Unblinded team, for playing it. And on this Fun Friday, I have a lot on my heart. I really do. I'm in like my fun, my loving, my like beautiful, fun, tongue-in-cheek Zeus energy. And what I'm present to is the pain of diluting, and distorting. And also, through the specific prism of process mastery, how human beings, myself included, dilute, and distort modeling. So let's talk about process mastery for like a hot minute, as Sean's going to jump in, and there's like much to talk about. So, and I was having a conversation with one of our team members the other day, and I was like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we need to measure more. And I was like, oh my God, incredible. That's so smart. And I said, no, listen, it's not me. It's like not me. I am no genius. I am simply a student and masterful, currently rising my mastery in the formula. And the formula clearly says that process mastery is modeling. It's maximization through measuring, monitoring, and management. And I was like, where is the friction? Why am I feeling it? Oh yeah, because we're not freaking measuring. And listen, we're measuring like absolute maniacs. But we could grow in the level that we measure. So why do I share all this? I share all this because when people, let me not say you, when people listen to Adam and I, they're like, man, this is incredible. Your mastery's right. To Sean, like, oh my God, Sean says it. Listen, it's not me. And I'm saying it too. And so is Adam. Like, it's not me. It's the formula. I'm not like these things. I'm simply speaking through the prism of what I've chosen to commit my mastery to. Now, why do I share all this? I share all this because for whatever reason, we know it, we see it, we believe in it, we've invested in it, and yet we tinker, dilute, and distort, modeling what's actually happening here at Unblinded. So with that, Mr. Callaghy, how's Arizona? What's cooking? How are you? And what's on your heart and mind on this Fun Friday?
What is on my heart and mind, Fernando, is your mastery, and it's what has happened, and it's rising.
Thank you.
It is unreal. It is unreal. Where things were 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and I'll be specific, like your level of clarity around process mastery has exploded. Like 6 months, two huge distinctions. One, your absolute ego subjugation, not absolute, nobody's perfect, but massive ego, and this is for everybody to model. Massive ego subjugation, nonstop openness to learning and growth, your exploration of bringing out more of your fun energy and heart energy as opposed to aspirational and Zeus. By the way, I'm trending patterns. Most men of personal development end up in aspirational and Zeus, right? That's my default quick assessment. And they are needing and wanting the rise of goddess and fun energy. Similarly, but I think it's more present in, let's not even get to that, the distinction doesn't matter. Absolutely rising. And there tends to be, like when there are really heart-centered people in the space of personal development, male or female, this is after like 1,500 people in a row. Like these are my observations. When heart-centeredness is present, and by the way, when we get to starting to analyze the data, truly analyze the data off of it wasn't feeding it into AI machines, which is coming. I can't wait. We're going to have more scientific studies on influence and communication patterns than anything that's out there. Abjectly insane, and because of what we've gathered already, right? And I mean that. So by the way, Unblinded team Chaz, that goes on the board, right? Making sure we have that. The assessment dynamics around influence and the books that will be written on every subject imaginable. Like we have We have data on body language, tonality, data on we have the ability to assess data on everything from the study of human influence dynamics and it expands every day. The data, the scientific data we have. And I don't mean data like Facebook has data to like, remarket and resell to people and push things. I'm going to tell you this. Data is king, ... in the world. And shoot me if we ever use data to push things on people that are not absolutely what people need. Like if we're ever like trying to manipulate, because people pay us, convince people to like travel to, an island instead of another island, or to eat something instead of something else. Like where these companies have gone wrong with the gathering of data, if they've used it to monetize whatever outcomes they possibly can and want without consideration for the efficacy, and we will never, right? So all the things we're saying is, with the rise of anything, great power is gained, right? And for you, as you rise in your power, and let me just really lean into this. So as you rise in whatever you're doing, there's a saying that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So as you rise in your influence master, you gain power. You gain power over people. And what we are standing for, and none of us are going to be perfect, and we're going to make mistakes. People make emotional decisions. People will see people and feel attraction. People will see people and want to have a business partnership. And sometimes we will believe it's the best outcome, and it may not be. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's like we're putting our own needs and outcomes over that of another, right? That's what we're talking about integrity. Like integrity means what we're moving towards and with people is because we genuinely believe it's in their best interest and ours, right? And sometimes we make a mistake, right? But the assessment of that is important. Mistakes will occur and micro distinctions for sure. But it's like on a macro level of like, yeah, we're doing things like where people are having their own belief structures reinforced and then being sold into it, which is what the big data, big media companies are doing. That's what I mean by not in integrity, just for money and power. So that said, as we rise, like the simple way, because you have the ability, you've risen in mastery, most folks here, and you'll continue to, and you're going to be able to cause people to do things in very new and different ways than you have before. And some of the things I would, I believe all things work together for good. Even things that are very painful and hard to believe that. My uncle was killed in a truck accident, so I'll just like lean into something, one of the most horrendous traumatic moments of my life, and in 22 years ago, and my godfather, and I do believe that all things work together for good. How could you possibly say that? Painful, traumatic, awful. Every part of me wishes it didn't happen. Of course, to the ends of the earth, I can cry in a minute talking about it, probably 30 seconds. But I do believe all things work together for good. Much longer conversation for a different day. Even if that belief is crazy, it serves my self-mastery, and I don't think does harm, right? So our belief structures, because I don't think we could possibly know and calculate the truth really of something on the fringes of anything in a belief structure like that. The question becomes like, how does it serve us, right? Or not serve us, truly. So longer story for a different training. In though the rise, the things that I come close enough to saying I wish it had gone differently are situations where I did not protect people from themselves around me. Like, I'll say it again, where I did not protect people from themselves around me. So the gravitational pull, the desire, like for people to be around you, is rising, and it'll continue to rise. And if that's a really new thing, or if it's not a new thing, either way, if it's a new thing, even more dangerously, we need to protect people from themselves. We need to set boundaries. And I'm not saying that you become responsible for other people, right? But you do become responsible for not co-creating things that people like, yes, I want to drop everything and come, start like selling everything for Ken Dan Liu. Ken has amazing gravitational pull. I would suggest that there's a responsibility. I had a coaching call yesterday, for example, where somebody's like, I want to do this with Unblinded. I said, I don't think you should, because you have to build this primarily. And I don't think it's a good idea that you focus on this yet, because you have to build and maintain that to feed your family on a daily basis. And the person's like, no, not like, okay, wait, let's go through it again. So that's what I mean, where you're going to create so much gravitational pull that your wisdom and awareness and integrity are going to be at stake, right? For which nobody will ever know, right? Except you, and potentially in hindsight. And so now that is a dynamic around the structure of your power of influence. We say influence is a superpower, and power is said for a reason. It is a power. Adolf Hitler had the power in Nazi Germany to make people, and by the way, these are basic principles that have been replicated in psychology. See work of Malcolm Gladwell, see work of Robert Cialdini over and over again, where see Stanford prison experiment. For those of you that don't know the Stanford prison experiment, they took very normal people. There's a movie made of it. It's talked about in Malcolm Gladwell's work as well. The Stanford prison experiment, they took nice college kids and they said, okay, you're prison guards, you're not prison guards. And they ran an experiment. By like the second day, maybe the first night, the people who were the prison guards were doing abusive, insane things to the prisoners. And like on pre-experiment surveys, they were like pacifists against the I think it was Vietnam still times, or they're against war, had never been physical with anybody, and craziness happened within a couple of days. So influence is a superpower. You can change. Literally, people believe they have a moral character in these processes. That could break down in days. People were in concentration camps and prisoner of war camps, and the things that occurred to them, for them, around them, over the course of one day, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you get people signing, documents saying they hate the United States. They're military officers. They believe communism was far better, like in very short time periods. So let us not be confused that when we say influence is a superpower and we say there's a formula, we didn't invent influence. We did not invent its superpowerness, obviously. And I just want to be very clear, we're not idiotic nor insane that we believe we did, nor do I believe that we created the formula. We didn't create the formula or language around it. And you're not either in or out of the formula. You're always in the formula, like you're always in gravity, unless you're on the moon, right? But the formula works on the moon. Gravity doesn't. Like the formula just is, right? So we create a language and containers so we could leverage it in the same way you have a word called a remote control for your TV, and you can press the buttons, right? And the dynamics for that were always present, and then somebody just put language and object together to make it a reality. So this is a lot for today on Fun Friday, and we'll get a little more fun in a minute. The point is influence really, truly is a superpower. There is something at stake for others around it and us. And I had an unbelievable conversation with somebody recently who I love their integrity. I love the conversation about the power of fun energy. And fun energy opens and gathers, but it also can hit tipping points where it has in my life, where all of a sudden you're like in the middle of scenarios and situations. You're like, wait, how did this happen? And emotions can be very powerful forces. So just when we say unconditional level boundaries and the four energies, all this fits into a formula together. And when we gain power, our boundaries aren't fully in place. we can all of a sudden be in situations that feel very, very real, that are not serving our ultimate interests. And people could be doing very crazy things. And I'm like, you know, emotionally, right, romantically, fun, you know, drugs, drinking, alcohol, gambling, right? Dynamics around leaving and starting companies and businesses. So just, you know, all that's present on this Fun Friday, because I love having fun. And I know what it looks like when fun starts rolling. And I know some of you have spoken into this with me, that it's that you've been the center of fun, and your gravitational pull has led to some abject insanity in your own life. And, you know, I can lean into that. And so the dynamic of like, yes, I want to drop everything and follow what you're doing. So it's like, is something that's present for people, is that screening. And so we're never using our influence to get people to say yes, because it's good for us.
Hey,
And
Chaz, do you mind muting real quick? And Sean, please continue. So thank you, team.
Yeah. And that's where we tip over the edge of integrity. And that said, the presence of fun energy is amazing. You know, like fun energy was present last night. So to answer the question of how is Arizona, it's unbelievable. And had the privilege of hanging out with Pat Nelson and other people from Platinum Partnership. And, you know, the gravitational pull of people and fun and things are and were present. And it made me so clear, not maybe, I am so clear, it just reinforced the power of fun energy. Like fun energy was present. And fun energy is what opens listening. Skatoma is open listening. Fun energy opens listening. And that is what is present for me. What is also present for me is how much momentum you can gather in your heroic, unique identity over the course of a month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and to think of the environment that we walked into at Business Mastery 2018 in January. I cannot believe what has happened over the course of 2 years and 10 months. And really didn't start until that August, so probably 2 years and 2 months, where it was just like, hey, that was the beginning of ecosystem emerging, meeting people. And how much it accelerates exponentially over time, because if you compare the progress from where things were, if you compare the progress of where things were in August of 2018 to where they were still in March of 2019, there was great progress. And that's around the time of Rob Gill came out, partnering with Chris Crone, the event before UPW LA. And then if you compare that progress from March then January 2020, I mean, it quadrupled again. And from January to today, it's gone up 100x. So that's what like arduous to momentum to abundance means. It doesn't mean we're not in arduous in many phases still, but I'm speaking into the ecosystem capital value, like we talked about on the LBI Huddle. And that's what I'm just reminding everybody present to. And that's what's at stake for you when you are thinking about your Real Raw Open and who's on it. Because all we're doing is providing a tool to replicate all those things that I spent probably close to $1 million on over the course of the last 3 years. You go, I don't have $1 million. Great. That's why you have a Real Raw Open. So you don't have to go do all those things. And that's a fact, because that provides all the different elements, the fun, aspiration of goddesses, ecosystem accelerant, with literally what I was doing over the course of these 2 years was, we have solved for substantially, not completely perfectly, but I mean, it covers 90% of, and it is 10,000 times more efficient. Covers 90% of it and 10,000 times more efficient. So you just want to bring the heart and math into it. So when you're not like reaching out to your ultimate avatars, filling the river opens, leaning uncertainty, the fun energy, times in a Fun Friday, there's massive lack of acceleration. And there's still a lot of confusion out there. I still hear people being like, oh, okay, I'm going to like start my masterclass. And I'm like, okay, what? Like, how's your open doing? Well, yeah, I'm going to get to it. Okay. See you as you crash and burn in 6 months or 3. Like, what are you doing? And I want to amplify this statement. You need partners. You don't need followers. You need partners, not followers. And I saw some of my partners last night, the people that it started with, and I thanked them. You know, Mariah Brown was there last night, and I thanked her. Because if not for Mariah, a lot of people were there. You know, if not for Nicole, none of it happens, because I can't meet anybody, see anybody do anything, right? Come to events, encourage me to join Platt, you know, all that. And many on the list. So Mariah, I hadn't seen Mariah. And I was just like, she was crying, saying, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, I'm proud of you. Like, this wouldn't have happened unless in San Diego in 2018, you came over and began introducing me to Deepak and Bayman, and then the next event to Milo, which led to that Clicksters innovation session. As I tell you, we had the pitch off, the influence off in the room. And who is you're Nicole, you're Rob Gill, you're Michael Smikant, you're Fernando, you're Adam, like, you're Mila Seidel, you're Deepak, you know, you're Rob Gill, Chris Crone, like, and who are you to them? And on Fun Friday, we had fun. And that's where it began. And so if anybody is confused about why we have so much fun in the Real Raws, then you're missing the fact that there's 4 energies. And nobody is. Like, I'm not saying that. But if you're missing that, that's what draws. And in San Diego that year with Deepak and everybody, like, yes, we stepped into Zeus and Aspiration. We also laughed. We had fun. You know, there was a magical feeling in the air of possibility, of connection, of love, of decision making, of fun. You know, as I sat with Pat Nelson last night, who is one of the most brilliant thinkers in the space of personal development, one of the most successful entrepreneurs ever, and somebody who has absolutely no desire ever, because he loves his life so much as business owner and operator, and always tells me when he's 100 years old, he's going to do what we're doing. But he's just loving his life and enjoying things and his grandkids and his family, and he's traveling so much. And we were speaking into all this, and it was incredible to see it through the prism of others who've been watching what's occurred. And what I want to give to you is that gift, because that's who you are. And inside of you, and through your mastery of the formula, is the magic of it. And the feeling I had last night of gratitude, of connection, love, joy, possibility, growth, absolute crazy fun. There was somebody last night that I was talking about the $250,000 bet. They're presenting that to somebody today in a very fun, scatomato way. We're talking majorly insane people, and loved it, was laughing, is going to like bust chops with it. Like, let's go. Wants to be the Don King promoter of the dynamic, has the power and leverage of Don King-ness. And I did it in humility to begin with, and they ripped it open into fun, and we were like going off the hook with it. Like, that's what it looks like. Personal development isn't taking yourself seriously. Scroll 7, Ogmandino. is the way he wrote it is, today I will laugh at the world. I say, today I will lovingly laugh at myself and the world. Like, just have fun. Be in your body. Like, we did an exercise. You want to talk about the power of it? Literally, this woman, Davida, came on last night, and her work, are you ready for this? Which is potentially somebody, I'm guessing that Diana would know. Davida came on, and her work was getting literally out of your head into your body. It is literally how she presented what she was doing. I was cracking up. Like, we talk about out of your head into your body all the time. I didn't know somebody actually said that. And that's her life's work. And she was amazing. I'm quite sure Diana is equally amazing and beyond. But that's what it looks like to be out of our head, in our body, in our fun energy, in massive acceleration. Bring a quick pause. Do we have anybody coming on today?
Not that I know. I know Lorelai was going to jump on, but she's not currently here. So please keep driving.
So, yeah, just let me know if somebody's in. Yeah, we're gonna wrap soon. Is anybody okay? So that's Fun Friday, and the dynamic of how you're in your body, in your heart, in your fun, and just laugh. Like, just laugh. Like, it's not that serious. And I laugh at myself because I get super serious. And sometimes it is, and it's the right time. But if we can't just stand back and laugh and enjoy it, then what are we doing? And it is fun. It is fun to do things with amazing people like you. And here's the best part. It's fun to learn from, and it's fun to teach. It's fun to lead, and it's fun to be influenced. I don't want to say to follow, but to be influenced. And all of that was present for me yesterday. You know, I was learning from many people last night, including Pat, and I was teaching. And we're laughing at our differences and our similarities and our eccentricities and, you know, and our own hypocrisies, you know, and comparing notes of his strengths over my strengths and my areas of suboptimal and his, like, in great friendship, but from a place of abundance and humility and truth, and laughing at just the ridiculousness of how amazing life can be and feel, and reminding one another of what it felt like and what it feels like still when things are not going the way we want, because both of us have things not going the way we want today, last night. And thinking of how that compared to when, you know, we were both struggling and building our businesses in the you know, earliest days of him doing his thing, me doing my thing. And it's just fun. And then people intermixing and stories and meetings and the craziness and new people and old friends and somebody, you know, this male gentleman, like, who's like the doorway saying, he wants to like come and read my spine and my body and telling me things about my grandfather, my grandparents' house, which I wasn't even asking him to do. Like, I mean, it's like, what is happening? Like, it's just funny, like, that we live in a world where some people think that's insane. He believes in it. I probably sit somewhere in the middle, and just like, it's just fun. Like, what's fun for you? Like, what's fun for you? He asked those words, not intellectual. It's like, feel your body. Like, who can you call when we hang up this phone today and just laugh with them? Just pick up the phone and call an old friend and say, do you remember that night? Do you remember that night? Like, what was happening? What were we doing? Like, I offer that possibility. And remember those times. And then meet somebody new. Connect a little bit and just, for a moment, laugh. And have a scotoma. And it resonates when we vary our fun, aspirational goddess and Zeus energy. That's what magically resonates. Fernando, we got AG also, or no?
I'm here.
AG.
Yes.
So what say you about this conversation?
Here we go. I will tell you what say me is I was laughing and I was having fun with your line, the formula works on the moon, gravity doesn't.
That's a new T-shirt. That's a new T-shirt.
T-shirts
The
everywhere.
formula works on
And
the
by the
moon.
way, Lorelai is here, so just wanted to chime you in.
Yes. So Lorelai, and I'm gonna lean in, right?
Oh boy. That's Sean's way of prepping you to
I'm
freeze,
holding
Lorelai.
on.
There you go. Smart girl.
I'm ready for this one.
Okay, so Adam's gonna join you on this trip, Lorelai. Okay. So Adam Gugino, right? You are fun, brother. You are funny. You are fun. And what's the name of the song that you sang at the end of the LBI virtual event that you sang with your backup singers? What's
Paul
the name of
Revere.
it?
Paul Revere.
Paul Revere by who?
The Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Now, it was super fun, and I get that there's some language that is off color, and I'm not going to speak into the question of off color language today. That's not where we're going. So I get that. But how in your head, Adam, can you get at times? Because when you were at your former company, you sang up on stage in front of hundreds of people. Did you not?
I absolutely did. And I changed the words to that song to be the story of the company that I was working for.
Right. So let me ask, when do you lose your fun energy and get in your head? Because are you a fun person, Adam Gugino?
Absolutely.
Okay. And
no question.
How do you think, like, if you were to, you're beloved and your heart, like Adam, it would be like heart. Right. I think that's what the first word that would come up for most people in the Unblinded ecosystem. So where do you, like, when you're hanging out with friends, things, not publicly facing, I guess here's the question. Do you dilute some of your fun energy? Do you think? I don't know, right? Fully, when you're publicly facing at this point as it relates to Unblinded, or
Yes,
are you fully
yes,
in your flow?
yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. And it is when I feel the weight of what is at stake. I understand what is at stake with all that we're doing and all the people, and how it translates into lives and how it translates into saving lives. So that's when that happens. Even though I know that fun energy will, yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, and I love it. And brother, let me tell you, your boundaries, your impeccable dynamics around it. Like I can easily step into like a moment where it's like, should I have said that? Right. Like I get that. So I am definitely not saying like, I am the 9.999 master of understanding exactly how to have the appropriate boundary around every sentence that comes out of my mouth. So I definitely am clear on that. And your mastery you have a higher level of mastery of ensuring that you don't say something that it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Right. So that's clear. Right. So I can rise on that level. And on the flip side, like, I think it's fun to explore how we can bring out even more fun energy and for its absolute magnetism, and brother, when you sang in that LBI virtual, your gravitational pull, which is extraordinarily high, exponentially magnified. It was unreal. And like the people around me that talk about that may be their most memorable Adam Gugino moment. And their love for you only accelerated and exponentially grew because it was an act of leadership. When you step into fun energy, everybody, like, it's an act of leadership, confidence, certainty. And it's okay to make some mistakes. I certainly have. I wish I didn't make well, it might have been a little easier if I didn't make some of them, but it's there. And Adam, I'm so proud of you that you sang that song and stepped so far outside of your comfort zone into your fun energy. And I would offer myself rising in mastery of like, okay, I could have dialed that back a hair at times, right? And how the lightning bolt lands or how the fun unleashes, right? And, you know, I said some things last night when the fun door opened that are going to be very interesting to see how they play out over the next 24 hours. So, but I think it's really, really fun.
Sean, I have to, and with what you just said and shared, in the exponential rise of my gravitational pull, if I didn't say thank you to the queen of fun energy, Bella, I would be doing her and the movement a disservice, because without her egging me on at the beginning and right when we were about to end, and I had forgotten. I had forgotten that I had said that I was going to do that. Not out of fear, literally just forgot. We were so, in the moment of what we were teaching and training and doing that I forgot. And she said, wait a minute. She jumped up. Wait, well, there's one more thing we have to do. And of course, I didn't have a chance to think. So thank you, Bella, for that moment.
I love you, Adam.
And I am feeling an unbelievable withholding of fun energy because now Bella is in like immediate proximity and I get to brush my teeth this morning. So, I'm like turning my back and sideways. So that is like a fun fact. So Lorelai, first of all, let's acknowledge Lorelai. Now Bella's running. So Lorelai, first of all, I just want to acknowledge you. We said on the call last night, and we're going to take this home in the next 3 minutes, guys. The unbelievable job you did and your loyalty and how many people tried to, in your life, and I don't even know. Good morning, Dior. Dior has a lot of fun. The unbelievable job you've done in your life, Lorelai, of overcoming and how many people have tried to suppress you, push you down, push you out, as all of us. And I know that your story someday will be a movie, and I don't even know all of your story, right? Or probably most of your story. I know certain things that I've been privileged, for you to share with me. But I want to thank you for the loyalty you've had, and you had every right in the world to walk away 50 times for your being treated with less than full respect and gratitude from people in and around this. And I just want to thank you, first of all, for that. And second of all, just say what you did yesterday. You like Lorelai is the queen of big moves. Like you are the queen of big moves. And like Rob Gill would say, Lorelai is like waves in the ocean that you never see coming. Like Lorelai is like waves in the ocean at night. She's like the waves on the beach in LBI that when you're blind, you can't see, or if it's dark enough, when the moon's not out, you can't see. It's like, boom, there's Lorelai. So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for all that, because the ecosystem merger meeting she set up yesterday was like a person that deals with presidents, celebrities, all of it. And I thought that call would be 15 minutes. It went an hour and 15 minutes. And so Lorelai, thank you for all of it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for everything you said. I appreciate it. And yeah, that meeting was mind-blowing. So there's a lot of exciting things in the future.
That's me gargling with mouthwash. Thank you, Lorelai. For you, so how did that feel for you yesterday? And then I guess one more question, we'll wrap it up. So how did that feel for you yesterday?
It was amazing, really? Because I've been
for you. For you.
For me.
Like not for Unblinded, not for your gift. Like how did you feel inside as you listened to that phone call and after it? How did you feel about Lorelai with what you did yesterday?
Ooh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I totally was. In my power, feeling amazing. That look what I did. Look what I pulled off. Look who I connect with. And look who is in my circle. And so, yeah, for me, it felt completely empowering. I'm like, okay, remember who you are. Remember what you're capable of, because sometimes we tend to slip and we forget, our power. So that was actually, yeah.
Yeah. And even for me, you haven't been as front facing in the movement, and we haven't had you in the huddle as much. And I don't even know why. I'm sorry. You didn't ask for this. You didn't say that. But I'm thinking, why isn't Lorelai on more? And it's just like you're in the flow of patterns of behavior and things. And, you live on the West Coast, and, so sometimes it's just sometimes it's just a different dynamic of human interaction. So I just want to say thank you for you being you and for everything, and to apologize and say you should be and have been even more front facing. You've been definitely acknowledged, but not nearly as much as you should be. And so thank you. And I appreciate you as a friend, as a teammate, and for everything that you do massively. And we're not here without you either. And the real raw is not here without you, and we're not here. So please receive that from my heart with massive gratitude.
Thank you. I'm ready to be front and center going forward even more. Thank you.
I'm not confused.
Bring it on.
You're also a lot of fun. And get out of your head and just be that fun, crazy person that you are, all the time. So you and Adam, Lorelai and Adam should be on a.
No, we had Adam and I had a long conversation last night, didn't we? Adam, is Adam there?
Adam had a scheduled phone call that I
scheduled.
Okay.
Anyway, and I was creating rap music lyrics for him.
Amazing.
To add to his repertoire.
Stacey challenged Adam to a rap off because apparently Stacey Frederick also raps. So I think that there is an Adam Stacey show in our near future.
Yes, I would agree with that, absolutely. And so Lorelai, yes, you are challenged to be in your fun energy 10 times more, not 10 times more, 2 times more, along with Adam. So you and Adam are now accountability buddies in the rising of fun energy. And so for everybody in the ecosystem, right, the Unblinded movement, your challenge for today, your assignment is to get your fun accountability buddy, right? Your fun accountability. Gina and Stella are high-fiving. So it's your fun accountability buddy is what you're responsible for, and to have healthy boundaries, right? Because it could get a little crazy. So I'm not, I know what that looks like. I've been around it. I watched it. I think I was sitting in some of it last night, right? So, as Rob Gill would say, it looked like Rob Gill recently said, he goes, this is like the summer of love in 1969. And it's like you're Charles Manson. He goes, and I'm like, I don't think that's a good imagery, Rob. He's like, no. It would have all been good with Manson if he got the Beach Boys contract. For those who don't know, Charles Manson was actually going to be a singer before he became a serial killer, right? So, and he was rolling with the Beach Boys. And yeah, so he really was the Beach Boys were his buddies, and he was going to write the next, he was jealous of the Beatles, and, Helter Skelter, and all kinds of crazy things were happening. So, but yes, we can have fun and we can let ourselves go, and there's an immense gravitational pull. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to increase your gravitational pull authentically and lovingly, and let yourself go and have some fun. And we were told a long time ago, sit down, shut up, be perfect. Maybe the words weren't exactly that. Maybe they were worse than that from our teachers, our parents, our stuff. And just the rising, we want to shut that? It's okay. And just the rising of our fun energy and letting go. We don't have to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And if we need to be perfect, it's not worth doing. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. So when you're talking to people about your real raw, about speaking, about life, about what's possible, get out of your own head into your heart. And remember that they're as scared as you are and more in trying to be perfect. And if you can help them free themselves and step into fun energy, you will be causing leadership in them. That's what we're here to do also. So that's what Fun Friday is all about. Lorelai, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Frando, final, brother.
Fun Friday. Let's go monetize the S out of everything that we have. Let's have some fun doing it. Let's create our speaking engagements. Let's not dilute, delete, and distort. Let's model what's happening here together through the prism of the formula. And let's step up to Adam and Lorelai and ask them to stop hiding their fun energy, because Lorelai's freaking funny, and so is Adam, and so are all of you. Thank you, Sean.
And she's nuts. Make no mistake, Lorelai's nuts. So like, we're all nuts.
Thank you.
Like, Lorelai,
I'm
unleash
gonna
your
own
inner
it.
nutsness. Yes, I'm not
Trust
confused.
me, people
And
have
by the way,
no idea.
Yes.
Lorelai.
Yes, I am.
Literally.
Lorelai, I am not confused, and I'm frightened. I'm a little frightened,
you
but I'm
should
not
be.
confused.
Ready? Final fun fact on Lorelai that made me fall in love with Lorelai. I was on the phone with someone, and in a like slightly annoyed energy, which I enjoyed, she's like, "Yeah, Lorelai DM'd me 10 times," and it was in that moment that I realized how like ludicrous Lorelai really was, and that's fun.
Yeah, and just for fun energy, amazing. Bella and Gina are like, by the way, your group is leaving in 10 minutes. She's gonna be in the lobby, and I have like 9 coaching calls, like 3 presidents of like NBA basketball teams, and I'm in my shorts and sweatshirt, unshowered and unshaven. So we'll figure that out though, like, cause we're fun. We have fun. Okay. So, right. We'll figure that out. So, for all, it is our heart, is our fun energy. And by the way, ding, ding. See you guys.